Today I'm going to take you to Brazil, a place where I served in the Peace Corps, an area here in western Brazil, in this back country over here. And we're going to be visiting an area along this river called the Taquari River, which is a tributary to the Paraná River, which runs down towards Argentina. And so this is the area we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a big snake there. It's called sucuri in their language there. It's a native Brazilian word, but it's a word mostly known around the world as anaconda. And this anaconda appeared one day in these farmers' pig pen. They were very shocked to see this thing in there. He had a big bulge. He'd swallowed one of the pigs, and he couldn't get out. And apparently he had crawled in there through the rails of the fence, and then when he swallowed the pig, he was too big to go back out that way. And he wasn't smart enough to go over the top. But anyway, he was trapped, and the farmers got him, killed him, and they used all parts of the body. And you'll see in this big snake skin the part that they didn't use. And so the old farmer sold it to me for about $10, and I've had it ever since. And so it's an interesting story, because when they came to settle there, they came up this river, the Taquari River, and they were looking for a place to settle where they could put their farm in. They were pioneers, and they'd come from very south Brazil, and they came up there and they saw this little opening in the rainforest that was surrounding the river, and it had been cleared away. They thought, oh, that's a good place. Well, so they moved in there, and little by little they packed all their stuff up and built a house on the trail. But they found this trail was created, a little opening was created by these peccaries, these wild pigs. Javelina is another word for them. And these javelina were, maybe hundreds of them, had come down to the river every day and drink. And they tore up the vegetation along that area so that it was all cleared away and they could go back and forth every day. And meanwhile, the anaconda, that's where he camped too, but he was camped in the water. And he would stay submerged, the pigs would come up to drink, and you see this thing was 19 feet long, and he would reach over the top of them and pluck one of these peccaries right out of the herd, pull it back into the water, and drown it, and then swallow it. And he don't do that once a week. And meanwhile, the peccaries would come back every day, do their drink, and they hardly miss their colleague. And so this is sort of the way they lived within the ecology there. But when the farmers moved in there, they built their house right on the trail of the peccaries, and they were just, I guess, pissed off because they would tear holes inside the house and run around and knock over everything. And the people realized that they were going to survive. They would sleep in these hammocks. And these pigs are pretty bad. If they catch you out in the bush and knock you down, you'll be a skeleton within 5 minutes. So they would thrash around the house. They would sleep in hammocks, and then they would have a shotgun handy. And when the pigs came in that night, they would just start shooting blindly on the floor. And if they were lucky, they'd have a peccary for breakfast. And little by little, they eliminated the peccaries, just gradually in the same process. So eventually, the snake was running out of food. And at one point, there wasn't any more peccaries. And he looked down the bank there, and he saw this pig pen. It had the corner of the pig pen stuck in the water, so they didn't have to water the pigs. They could just drink right there, and these domestic pigs drink and go back up into the rest of their pen. And he thought, oh, this is the same kind of species. I guess I could swallow one of them. So you see, they caught him. But you see the contrast here, the ecology of this whole area, and left alone, nobody was there. These pioneers came in a total virgin area. And they basically cleared it, farmed the rice and beans for a number of years, then cleared the rainforest out, and gradually they brought in these African grasses, the grasses that were exotics. They didn't have any natural predators. And they took over. They've actually kept the forests from taking back over the area. And so this is what's happening through vast areas of Brazil, is this African grass is taken over. And so anyway, you can see this peccaries, how they survived, and the snakes survived, and the people are now taking this area over. I don't know how much longer we'll be able to find snakes like this. Way up in the Amazon now, you'll still see them around.